Have you ever hiked through the dense woods within the upper part of North America at night, only to see a specter unlike anything you've seen before? Have you ever heard of the Wendigo? Prepare to be captivated by the chilling and mysterious tales surrounding this legendary creature that haunts the depths of our imagination. Legend has it that the Wendigo is a creature born out of pure darkness. It is said to roam the dense, unforgiving forests of North America, lurking in the shadows and preying on unsuspecting individuals who dare to enter its territory. What makes the Wendigo so fascinating is its origin. According to Native American folklore, the Wendigo was once a human, driven to cannibalism during a harsh winter or famine. This act of consuming human flesh is believed to have transformed them into a malevolent creature, cursed for eternity, while other stories claim it being either a fearsome beast that stalks and eats humans, or as a spirit that possesses humans, causing them to turn into cannibals. But what sets the Wendigo apart from other supernatural beings is its insatiable hunger. The creature is said to be constantly searching for its next meal, a craving that can never be satisfied. Some stories even describe the Wendigo as having a heart made of ice, devoid of any compassion or warmth. Some legends say the Wendigo is an emaciated figure with ashen flesh. Others describe it as a giant creature up to 15 feet or 4 or 5 meters tall, or as a beast that grows larger the more it eats. It may have sunken or glowing eyes and sharp yellowed fangs and claws. Its lips are chewed or entirely missing because it has eaten them. It may be hairless or have fur, and it may have pointed ears and horns or antlers like a deer. It smells of rotting flesh, and is usually first detected by humans by its horrible odor. Wendigos are believed to have exceptionally sharp eyesight, hearing, and sense of smell, as well as superior strength and speed in order to stalk and overpower their victims. They live in colder climates among the woodlands and lakes of Canada and the northern United States. They can move easily through deep snow and across ice. A shaman may be the only person who can subdue and destroy a Wendigo, using either a silver, steel, or iron bullet or a dagger. Some legends, however, claim the Wendigo's heart must be cut out and melted or burned in a fire before its spirit is truly vanquished. The Wendigo is sometimes described as a spirit rather than a physical presence. In Cree mythology, for example, the Wendigo is believed to be an evil spirit that possesses humans. The spirit enters a person by biting him or her or through a dream. The possessed person becomes cannibalistic or otherwise deranged or violent. Some people are believed to be more susceptible to becoming possessed by a Wendigo, including those who are greedy or gluttonous, as well as those who are suffering from hunger or starvation. A colloquial phrase for this experience is going Wendigo. Hundreds of chilling encounters have been reported throughout history, with witnesses claiming to have seen the creature with their own eyes. Tales of hikers disappearing without a trace, their only remnants being eerie whispers and chilling cries echoing through the forest. The Wendigo legend exists in the oral history of North American tribes, predating Europeans' arrival in North America. Some anthropologists believe the legend developed as a cautionary tale about the importance of community to guard against individual greed, selfishness, and isolation. The Wendigo was a personification of cold and hunger in a time when human survival relied on banding together and sharing resources, particularly during the long, harsh winters of the northern wilderness. The legend may also have served as a warning to children not to wander too far into the woods. The first known written mention of the Wendigo appears in a 1636 report by Paul Lejeune, a French Jesuit missionary living among the Algonquin people in what is now Quebec. Lejeune described a woman who warns of an Achin that had eaten some tribal members nearby, and that would eat a great many more of them if he were not called elsewhere. A few instances of murder and cannibalism in North America were blamed on the Wendigo. These included a case in Alberta, Canada 1879, where a Cree hunter and trapper named Swift Runner claimed a Wendigo spirit had entered his dreams and told him to eat his family. He was tried for murder, found guilty, and hanged for his crimes later that year. Another case occurred in 1907 among the Sandy Lake First Nation community in northern Ontario. The tribal shaman, Jack Fiddler, and his brother, Joseph Fiddler, were charged with the murder of Joseph's daughter-in-law, whom they had strangled to prevent her from becoming possessed by a Wendigo. After the brothers' arrest, Jack Fiddler escaped the police and strangled himself, and Joseph Fiddler died from tuberculosis in prison in 1909. By the early 20th century, the term Wendigo psychosis was being used by psychologists and missionaries to describe a culture-bound syndrome among Native and First Nations people whose symptoms included delusions of becoming possessed by an evil spirit, depression, violence, a compulsion for human flesh, and, in some cases, cannibalism. The syndrome was also diagnosed retroactively in historical cases of cannibalism in North America. However, the existence of the syndrome is disputed by some scientists. For centuries, indigenous artists and activists have drawn on the Wendigo legend both literally and metaphorically to address such issues as colonialism, violence, and environmental destruction. American writer Louise Erdrich's poem Wendigo 1984 tells of a man trapped inside a Wendigo who abducts a young girl, who in turn releases his spirit. Her novel The Roundhouse 2012, which centers on an Ojibwe boy in North Dakota seeking justice after his mother is raped, uses the Wendigo legend to explore views of retribution and justice among the boy's tribe versus those of the U.S. government. In the 21st century, activist Winona Lajic coined the term Wendigo economics to criticize corporations' cannibalistic effect on Earth. Since the 19th century, the Wendigo legend has also captured the imagination of non-indigenous authors. In The Wilderness Hunter 1-893, The Future U.S., President Theodore Roosevelt includes a goblin story about a bear-like beast that stalks the camp of two hunters, leaving only one to survive and tell the tale. Readers have interpreted Roosevelt's beast as being either the legendary Bigfoot or a Wendigo. British writer Algernon Blackwood's novella The Wendigo 1910 tells a similar story of a mysterious monster hunting a campsite in the Canadian wilderness, and American novelist Stephen King features a Wendigo in the horror story Pet Sematary 1983. Canadian writer Margaret Atwood examines the Wendigo legend in Strange Things, The Malevolent North in Canadian Literature 1995, a book of lectures on the imaginative landscape of Canadian literature. Wendigos have also found their way into the plots of television shows such as Hannibal, video games such as Until Dawn, and comic books, including The Incredible Hulk and Wolverine. A Wendigo character also appears in the action film The Lone Ranger 2013, despite the plot's southwestern U.S. setting. In director Scott Cooper and producer Guillermo del Toro's Antlers 2021, the Wendigo is a deer-like creature in a story that combines supernatural horror and generational trauma in a small-town setting. But is the Wendigo just a figment of our collective imagination, or is there something more to this terrifying legend? Some believe that the Wendigo represents our deepest primal fears, a manifestation of our own darkest desires and actions. Whether you believe in the Wendigo or not, one thing is for certain: its legend continues to capture our imaginations and send chills down our spines. The existence of this creature remains a mystery, waiting to be uncovered in the darkness of the forests. So, if you ever find yourself wandering through the uncharted wilderness, be cautious, for the Wendigo may be lurking just around the corner, ready to sink its icy claws into your deepest fears. Thank you for joining us on this extraordinary adventure. If you enjoyed this video, check out our video on the Jersey Devil. Until then, stay curious.